Hello and welcome to part 2 of the video. I will have broken it up and uploaded it to YouTube differently. Let me turn on my light. If you haven't watched the first part, I highly recommend it. Not because it's so wonderful, but it will make more sense as to what we're doing if you watch the first part of the series. So I have a lot of stuff and I don't know what to do with all the stuff, so I'm just going to try to shove what I can in wherever I can. We might need to drop something, but what I want to do is I made 2 logic processors. I'm sorry, 2 logic IOs. There's a memory. We'll leave the memory there for a minute, but we're going to come over here and we're going to build this thing right here, and it will be able to feed up to our solar panels, maybe even before the sun comes up. Let's see. So what do we have? Math unary. We want logic math, and a lot of times if you put it on another surface, then you bring it back, it will go nicely. Now I'm trying to see in behind all that, and I want to put it in a certain way just so it's right side up. It really doesn't make that much difference. But again, we can't place it on here, kind of goofy, but then we come over to this surface and we put it, and again it's upside down, and we do want a logic reader, and we want it to be one away from that one. And then next one we want is to be a batch writer, and we'll put that right down here. You can put them kind of anywhere. The most important one we don't even have in our hands because we're unprepared. It's not the first time in my life. We want to take this kit sensor. Oops, and while we're here, we can also take logic memory. And logic memory, I'm just going to put right up here. And again, can't place it. Go back to here, and then all of a sudden you can place it. I don't understand that. Doesn't matter which way you put the logic memory. It's got on either end, it has a thing. The sun is going to be coming up soon. You can tell from where it's at there. So we want to get this done quickly. The first one is a daylight sensor. Again, I'll go down here, place it there, and I should be able to hit. Oops, nope, I didn't have it the right way. There we go. So I want to put it right here. And so there we have a daylight sensor. So now what we need to do is get a bunch of wires in. I made them up, as if you can't tell. And we'll try to do this sparingly with our wires. Only use exactly what we need. So we'll want a 4-way here and 4-way here. And this, we're going to want a 3-way. Not that a 3-way saves us anything over a 4-way. No, we do want a 4-way here. You can tell that when things are connected because see how that one up top is green? We don't need a 4-way here. We would do a 3-way. See that? So like this, there's nothing to attach to there. Now here, if we spin, this guy around, you can see that is attached to something. So now this one, there is nothing on the bottom because it's all green. So I want to go back to a regular corner, which is only one piece, and that does save us something. Now thinking about it, a lot of times I go this way, but I don't really even need this piece. So let me get this. Probably a good idea to have in my hand while doing this. I'm not going to run down on the bottom there, which I do sometimes. That's, I think, why I did that. So we'll put another corner in here. And then here we're going to put a corner. Yeah, we're going to put a corner here. And we'll, oops, hit the wrong button. And we'll put a 3-way here. And we'll put a 3-way here. We'll use this one. We can go straight. And then this one just needs to be a corner. So we got that all hooked up. Now we're going to need to give power to it. And that's probably not the right one to hit. Let's try this one. Yeah. There we go. And then we want a straight. There we go. So now we have power to these guys, but we don't have this one hooked up. And there is nothing on the bottom, so we need to change this one. And we can do kind of a fancy piece here. which will be a three-way corner. Oh, there it was. Yep, and that is the right one right there in the right way. So now we can go back to a regular turn. There we go. So now we got that guy powered up. That look fancy? Good. Then we also have a little extra power coming this way. Is that everything? Yeah, because there's nothing on the bottom of these. Yep. So now what we want to do is get our jetpack on. And we want to go to a straight one. And we want it to be up and down straight. And then this one we want to have be a turn. That, I think. I hope I got it right. Yep. Now the last thing I think I've said this before, probably 3 times. We definitely don't want, we definitely do not want these 2 sides of this thing to touch. So let me finish hooking this up. So no matter what you do, if you ever have one of those power units down there, we have the power coming into it. Do not connect between the 2. It's kind of easy to do if you're not paying attention. I'm going to turn this light off because I don't think we need it. And there we go. We have, I think we're ready to go, other than we need to make some adjustments to this thing. So we'll get our screwdriver out. Now this thing increases by 100. Or decreases by 100. If you hold Z, it'll do it by 10. So there's decrease by 10, increase by 10. Same thing with the little screw here, does like a little increment of 1, 2. Now we want to decrease. We want to put this on 1.8. So I'm holding Z, and we just decrease by point something or other. So this memory just simply holds that number. The reason we want the number is the number that comes out of our solar sensor is 180 degrees. So in other words, it does 180 degrees as it's in the sky, and then it does another 180 degrees when it's nighttime. We don't care about the nighttime one, but we need to know the angle it's going to give us is going to be like 0 to 180. So if our solar sensor is facing this way, when it's facing out this way, it's 0. When it's on the back end, it's 180. The reason that that's important, let's do solar daylight sensor, not solar sensor, but and then we want the vertical, or I'm sorry, angle, solar angle. So we got 0 and 180 over there. So what we need to do, our power unit, or our solar panel goes from 0 to 100. So that's why we're dividing by 1.8. Or if I didn't say that, that's what we're going to do. No other readable, oh, look at that. See, we didn't hook up the data here. So let's go and cut this guy and come up here, and so we need a 3-way there, and then a corner, wrong way. There we go. Now, let's get rid of that, go back to our screwdriver. Now there's other readable things. So what we want is the logic reader. Now we can rename these with our labeler, but there's such a simple circuit, there's no confusion. So the logic reader is going to be our input, and then this is how you decide what you're going to do. It just does basic math, more or less. Well, some fancy math too. So we're going to divide by what's in the memory. So logic memory. So now we have a batch writer, and this we're going to say, well, I want to take that number we got out of our math unit, logic math, and I want to put it to any solar panels. And the reason this is a batch writer is because it will write to any solar panel that's on this network. A logic writer, whatever it is, only writes to like a specific device, which is good, depends on how you want to use it. Then we want to send the vertical. So now, before the sun goes down completely, we're going to turn these on. There's our solar angle. There's our logic math is putting out 54. So we got, 94 equals 54. And then we should be writing to our solar thing 55 now. See, we're writing whatever's that to our solar panel. So if we come over here and look, it should be pointing at the sun. Let's even jump up there because we're... There you go. So we can see from up here a little bit better if it's pointing as accurately as it needs to. 94% efficiency, and it's pointing pretty much directly at the sun. And if you look closely, I'm not sure, it's a bit of a glare there, but if I just hold my thing here, you'll see that this thing is slowly moving, you know, to try to stay adjusted. Could you do some fine tuning, come up with a better system? Absolutely. If you go into other planets, you don't have the same easy setup that you do here on Mars. But there we go. We have solar tracking. And because we have solar tracking, we are going to do some, to not waste any daylight, because we don't have the ability, we don't have many solar cells, for one. So we don't have the ability to store much power. So, you know, now this is charging up. It'll hopefully get it up to blue. We don't want this thing to run out, or else overnight our things will be pointing in the wrong direction possibly. And that way they won't catch the sun in the morning, and you'll have to put one of these batteries in it to get it to move the solar cells around. So the next step that we're going to want to do, besides smelting some stuff, is going to be to get some more solar cells, so that, like right now, if we try to run too much on this, we're going to struggle. Like it's probably not even going to do a great job charging up that battery, because we're probably using a good amount of the charge just to process that gold. But I wanted to get some more gold processed, definitely during the daytime. And then what we'll also do is we could switch over to our mining belt. Oops, let's put this tool away where it belongs. But at this point, it's just a matter of sitting here and getting some of this ore processed during the daytime, trying to stay as productive as you can at night with what you can accomplish during the day. But there we go. We have a fully working solar system. Key things to remember is this sensor, I don't know if I said it, I hope I did, has to face the east. If it doesn't, then you have to do other things like switch that solar panel around. Instead of putting it on minus 90, you'd maybe put it on plus 90. So this system will work even without it, but the key, if you do it exactly this way, it works wonderfully. And if you look, we'll be able to extend out this way as far as we want with more and more solar panels. And when we build in this area, we won't interfere with our solar panels. So, you know, if you build it the wrong way and you come up over here and you build a big building, well, you're going to end up blocking that solar panel. So we'll create an area over here where we have a work area. And the same idea with our greenhouse. Now, we could put our greenhouse anywhere, but, you know, we may end up with like a pretty darn long, big area of solar panels over here. So I don't want to end up with the greenhouse way over there. So in order for the same idea, I'm going to come enough over here, like I said, probably the area of this flare, like over here, and we'll eventually put the greenhouse door like right here in line with that. And that'll leave an area over in this ballpark that we can start setting up a furnace and have like a smelting room over here where we collect some of the gases. Because we need those gases in the greenhouse, and we'll also be producing oxygen, we're going to want a filtration system, which we'll probably put over in this ballpark, which you can't see because it's just the sun. So we'll kind of create a corridor here, and we'll have an area over here to do filtering, and we'll have an area over here to do smelting. So let me, the episode's a little bit short, so I'll smelt up some things, and we'll come back and maybe do a little bit of layout just so you guys can see what we'll do in the next episode. All right, I'll talk to you when some smelting's done. Guys, I'm playing a little game with our batteries here, and the sun is about to come up, and I've been pretty much smelting all night, and we're still smelting a little bit of copper over there. And you can see these little batteries, I don't know what the exact size difference is, but they go down much faster. But we drained out our large battery over here. And again, we can see the sun's coming up. If you want to come over here and prove that I was right, you can see, there we go. So we're done that smelting. That's good. That'll cut down. But if we let this battery run out totally, the solar tracking won't work in the morning. But we're close enough to morning that even if it stopped, it's probably pointing at the sun enough. It's 12 degrees, so you can see 12 here. So there you go. So we'll get down to 10 when we get to 18 degrees. So when the sun is at an angle of 18, even though it's below the horizon, this should read 10. See, so 10, 18. Hope that makes sense. And I mention all that not so much because of this situation. We've kind of got it figured out. But if you go to do all this stuff in a more complicated situation, it could be a problem. So in any event, very, very shortly, we should have some power. So I actually want to go on a little bit of an aside, and I'm going to turn this guy on, and I want to build a locker because without some place to store stuff, it's just sort of a killer. So we're going to take our chances in draining that guy down before the sun comes up. Even though it's probably not the smartest thing to do, you know, we still have some batteries. See, we're down to red, but we can come in here and use up another one of these small batteries. I did check. My suit has a pretty good charge on it, so we're going to be in decent shape. Oh, there we go. We want two of them. You need two to build a big locker. So let's come over here and we'll spin this guy like this. There you go. Now we got a place to store some stuff like this ore that's just constantly in my way. And we got a belt full of ore, and it'll be a lot easier to grab it out of here when we need it. We don't need this on us. We don't need glass sheets, and it'll all be close for when we want to put it in here. But what we do want, the next thing we really want to do, and let's see how much stuff we have in here. Now that our power's up, and we're not running that thing, we have only 3 gold in here, but I did smelt some gold overnight. Well, we started that before the episode ended. It took quite a while. But anyway, so now we have, I think, plenty enough to come in here, and I want to build 2 or 3, whatever we can build. Probably 3 would be ideal, solar panels. So we will have exactly enough iron, and we won't have enough copper. So we'll only get 2, but that's okay. We'll get these 2 going as ASAP, right? Let me turn this light off to try to conserve. And yeah, see, that battery charged up quickly. So this has some charge, so we can put it in there. And once that gets charged up enough, we can turn this guy on. Once we get these other solar panels going. And you know, no sooner did I take the glass sheets out than I need the glass sheets. And we're going to need some copper wires. Oh, we have the mining belt on. Let's switch. How many copper wires do we have in our regular belt? 11. That's not going to be quite enough. So let's run out whatever other copper we have. Well, yeah, 30. That's fine. I don't think we need anything else besides getting these. We're going to need like 5 for each side, 10. Yeah, we're going to need at least like 20 to get these hooked up. Trust me, it's how many's in there. And I don't know what happens if you stop things on a half like that. See how it's, I don't know if you guys can read that, but it's like 5.5. Like, I don't know if it shorts you when you go to actually get an ingot out, if you ever take the ingots back out. Keep that in mind if you plan on taking the ingots out. You might as well. Yes. Oh, we don't have iron sheets. Gosh darn it. Yeah, we're definitely going to need iron sheets. Where do we have any iron sheets? Let's make some iron sheets. Doesn't take long. We only need a couple. All right, again, these are in units of 1, so we don't have to worry about that. All right, there we go. All right. Glad, well, would have been better if I noticed it on the ground, but all right, so let's come up here and put up this, and this. And we'll switch back to this, and then we'll get those out of our hand for a minute. And we'll get our welder going. Turn that back off, get it out of our hand. Get the wire going. So now we'll place, we put that three-way here because we were thinking ahead. And this will be a middle, so we'll skip while we're doing the straights. And then, oops. And then we might as well just go over this side and do the same thing. Because we'll get these hooked up with data right away. And we want a three-way junction. Can we reach that one? Nope. And spin it around. Now the big thing is once we go to place these, you want to make sure you do them in the right direction. I keep hitting the E instead of the W. This game, one of the things about this game is you have to move your hand around the keyboard. So if you come back to the wrong spot, you're on the wrong spot. All right, so this is facing the right way. I can see my data is the closer one. And let's go do this one. Now this is weird. Like a lot of things don't do this to you, but this, the reason I say make sure you place it in the right direction is because it keeps, like now all of a sudden it's changed, you know? So there you go. So these should be hooked up, and if you're looking, they're going the wrong direction because they're not tilted the right way. But let's put the glass in because they will start getting some power to us. And then what we need to do, and we saw this before, is change the rotate left and go to minus 90 degrees. Again, if you do your orientation, if you don't set this up the exact same way I'm doing it, you might need to rotate this a little different, but it should work even if you put your daylight sensor the wrong way. Well, there you go. So now we have 3. So this is really enough power that we should be able to do pretty much whatever we want during the daytime. Like to the point we should probably try to keep, you know, this furnace going. So we'll go get some more. You know what? We'll get the gold going so I can talk. It takes a while to do the gold. And so how are we doing on our battery? So see, we should be able to even, if you start using more, this will start flashing red. So this will be charging up this battery, which is great. And we could probably even come in here. Yeah, see, we're down to a medium charge in our suit. So I will come in here and take this fully charged small one. You can switch it fast enough. You don't really have to do what I'm doing there. So in other words, I'm using the little battery for a moment just so that my suit doesn't go without any charge. But you don't have to do that. You could just switch them. What I don't want to do is cut off. See, by the way, also, depending on how you switch them, you'll cut your furnace off. So there is some logic to doing it the way I did it. Okay, so anyway, the next step is probably going to be to get some more frames and get this guy closed in, because right now as this is running, we're losing those gases. Again, not the end of the world. If you didn't have the mod that I have, and if you were just trying to get your greenhouse going ASAP, which you have to do if you have 1 times hunger, like we haven't even eaten anything yet. So you would have definitely eaten by now, and you'd be more worried about getting your greenhouse ASAP. So anyway, keep that in mind. But I think this is probably a good place to end this episode. We've got fully functioning power. I will probably spend a game day at least, trying to just get some things smelted and, just whatever else we have. Let's go over to here. And we'll switch back over to this guy. Let's close this other stuff. We don't need it. There you go. So see, we have these other orders, which I could probably take out of here and just put in here for now. You know what? Here's another trick. Let's switch this back here. Let's grab one of these flares and I'm just going to drop that flare right there. And then we can see, even though it's daylight, it's a bit annoying that you can't ever see in these things. So we'll put the gold down here, and just to keep it a little bit organized. It won't be in here long. Keep you from, if you do come in here and it's dark, you can see. So is that still running? Yeah. So I think what I'll do next actually is smelt up this iron. So I'll just keep that on me. But there we go. So we got a locker. I'm happy. I'll get some more ore smelted up. I may even go mining depending on the timing of the day and night and when it makes sense to come in. And I will also build a hydraulic pipe machine. Can we do that right now? Or get that started as the episode ends? Yeah, this is a little glitchy at times. So we need kit, hydraulic pipe bender. Oh, we got to get it from the other one. I don't have much materials in here, so never mind. But anyway, I'll make this hydraulic pipe bender, which we need gold and copper. So I'll just wait to smelt up some, and then I'll throw it in here. We're about to lose our sun. Then I'll build it right down this end over here. Might need to move some stuff. And that way we're ready to build the canisters and stuff we'll need. We need an active vent to suck stuff out of here. And yeah, so we'll go from there. So, well, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I hope you found it educational. That was most of the intent of it. And I will see you in the next one. Have a good day. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.